So it's been about 2 years now since the Supreme Court ruled that it's legal for all gay people throughout the entire country, the USA, to get married. And I kind of want to talk a little bit more about that, or a little bit more about like my sexuality and how people have dealt with it. So, I haven't really talked about, I might have kind of brushed upon what I like, what I don't like. So basically, I like girls more than guys, but I still kind of like guys a little bit. And I'm relatively old, sort of. I'm going to be 30 this year, let's just say that. And so I've come across a number of people throughout my 30 years of age. And if I try to get a girlfriend, and if like they even knew that I might have kind of liked some guys, they would immediately shut off and be disgusted and all that stuff, even if I was just going to be with them, a girl. And I always felt that was kind of weird, but that's just what I kind of went through. And so I pretty much had to hide any part of that throughout my life. But then later on, in recent years, I should say, I might have made friends with some younger people, either through work or through the cosplay scene or whatever. And it just kind of surprised me of how much more open they were with that, with, being gay or being bisexual or anything like that. And maybe it's just because I live in California. It's probably, a lot different in other parts of the country still. But it is still pretty surprising to see the kind of shift, because I haven't moved from this city or this area in like 15 years or something. So to see that much of a shift within the 15 years, some people will say, oh, it's, crazy, or it's moved so fast of how much acceptance there is in this whole LGBTQ, whatever the crap you want to add to it, community. But it's just kind of a quick progression in the recent like decade or two, but they've been fighting for equal rights for multiple decades, and it's barely starting to shift, and so there still is some work to be done. And it's just like, I'm still kind of surprised how I can sort of talk about it with younger people these days, and they're still accepting, where I had to hide every little piece of it about me when I was younger, even with people who were, my age, younger age. So it wasn't, because some people think, oh, well, when you're a teenager, you're just experimenting, and then everybody will be more open about it and stuff like that. That's not true. Even when I was younger, if you said, well, at least for men, if you said that you liked other men, then you're pretty much done for. If you're a woman and say that you like other women, even in the older days, it was kind of accepted still, at least in California. But for men, it was a lot different. And so I just want to say it is pretty crazy how much things have changed, but there is still a long way to go. And I have kind of touched upon other subjects in the whole LGBTQ area. By the way, that whole thing, the whole acronym, is getting too big, and they keep adding more and more letters. Everybody agrees with that. Just stop that shit. And also, one of the things I really hate is how people are like, you can be gay, but just don't throw it in my face. A lot of people don't throw anything in your face. I can understand some people are kind of like flamboyant, but some straight people are like super, I guess what's the opposite of flamboyant, and like overly, no man, I'm macho, get the fuck out of here, or some shit, and that shit's annoying. But I was never, the flamboyant type, so I was just, I guess you can say, a regular person, and that is pretty much a common stereotype. And a lot of LGBT type people have been trying to break that stereotype, like in media, and saying, why can't we have a regular looking person portrayed as a gay person in media, in TV shows, movies, and all that. And I can totally agree with that. It has started to kind of pop up here and there, like there'd be some regular looking person, and then they'd be like, oh yeah, I'm gay, and then the other character would always be like, what, you're gay, you don't look gay, and stuff like that. And so it still is pretty common to have the very effeminate gay looking guys, and then the very sexy lesbians or whatever. But well, sometimes they have the butch lesbians, of course, but maybe, well, definitely over time it will become more and more common And we're living in the times. We're living in the times of change. You know, some people lived in the civil rights movements with the, you know, Black Americans going through all that struggle, and of course, it's not exactly the same. Some people have tried to compare it, Black people's civil rights with gay people's civil rights, but it isn't that much different. I know a lot of Black people would be like, oh, you know, we got attacked and everything, and what do you gay people have? You guys have parades. You know, gay people get attacked, they get beaten, they get killed just the same. Not from police maybe, or authority figures, but it still happens. But I just wanted to say, you know, just a little quick blog on that, and how I've noticed so much of a change in just my lifetime. So yeah, I guess that's all I got to say. You can leave a comment below if you have thoughts on the matter. Even if you're in a different country, and what you think about gay people in your country. Because, you know, I have heard some people say, you know, once the Supreme Court ruled that it was legal here in the U.S., they'd be like, welcome to the rest of the world, when gay marriage and gay lifestyle isn't accepted in a huge part of the world still. Maybe if you said the western side of the world, it can kind of make sense, but still, no. There's a lot of countries in the world that don't accept that whole, I don't know if you can even say lifestyle. Because I don't want to say decision, because of course it's not really a decision, and even if it was a decision, who gives a fuck, you know? If I decided to be gay, let's just say, would that affect you? No. It's just two, you know, adults being totally cool with each other, you know? So it shouldn't matter if you did decide, but that's a whole nother topic, I guess, which I really don't want to brush upon. So yeah, let me end my rambling right there, and just say see you guys later.